I am live. So this is different because it's from my laptop compared to my phone. So I'm not quite sure um, the difference. So that's why I'm kind of testing it out. But anyway, to go into what I was talking about, why are you so mad? Right? Because it's just, I don't know. It just seems like people are just mad. I can never just have a conversation with somebody just being, I don't know, content, not content, that's not the word, but they're always looking at something. They're always looking at someone to validate them. I see most of the time people are, they're playing the victim. And a victim mentality is just, it's just sad. And a victim mentality is dangerous, I would say, because they'll be the first ones to throw you under the bus if something happens, kind of thing, just to protect themselves. So you want to kind of stay away from people like that. But I think we all know people like that, either it be friends, family, people you work with. They just don't get it, just I don't know. I know like some people don't say like take responsibility, but take responsibility for your actions. Take responsibility for the things that are happening to you. Let me tell you something. I am not perfect. I am not perfect at all. But when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I will, admit that. I'll admit that I'm wrong. I will just I know people hate the word accountability, but accountability. Let me tell you something. Recently, I have been dealing with some people that maybe I shouldn't have dealt with. Hi, Rob. You know what? I'm doing good today. I was just talking about, why people are just so mad nowadays. Okay, I got a whole I got a whole earful for you. I don't know if it's because of the climate that we're in that people are just mad. If people are just out here just depressed, you know. I mean, there is a lot of stuff going on, and because maybe I kind of live in a bubble, it don't really affect me. And I know people hate to hear, "Oh, protect your peace," but why do you keep allowing people into your life that causes pain? It could be anything. Well, especially if people are playing the victim, right? So if you're playing the victim, it's like you want attention and you don't care who the attention is from, and sometimes it might not be from the best person. You know what? That's really great that you look towards the scriptures because I really feel you should. I mean, I believe in don't have faith in man, have faith in God. And when you look at it like that, then you don't get disappointed because God doesn't disappoint you, right? Everything happens for a reason. So I think that's what's happening right now. Everybody is looking to pour into a man. Hey, Justin, I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. I was just saying how, people are looking towards men for validation, for the answer. Why? Well, they say, why sway? Men will let you down every time. That is right. I've never I've never poured into someone and got the same back in return. Hi, M. Renee. How are you doing, love? You know, I feel like if more people actually have faith in the higher and most high, they wouldn't have to, they wouldn't be going through what they're going through. Look at all the people nowadays that are looking towards the government. Really? Now they're talking about cutting Social Security and everything. I was like, this is, it's nuts. And I don't even want to talk about the guy, the orange guy with the comb over. All these people, they voted for him, they're poured into him, and now look what they're doing. Yeah, it's too much to worry. It's too much. So I think you just have to focus on yourself and worry about yourself. I always say, I always repeat what they say about, when you're on an airport, I mean, when you're on an airplane, they tell you make sure you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you do it to others. And I think what happens a lot of times is that, you want to go and save everybody. I was just talking to a person the other day, and I was like, you always trying to save people. What's that song? Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. People don't want to be saved. They just want attention. They just want validation. They don't care if you get abused, if you are, as long as they're getting their attention. It's true. I know a lot of people, men and women, they're just so hungry. They're just so hungry for validation. You know, I always, when I make my videos, at the end of my videos, I always say, if no one's told you today that they loved you, I love you. Because you know what? That shouldn't be it. Hey, Jam. I was just talking about how people are just like pouring into men. Well, and when I say men, I don't necessarily mean a man like, oh, you have a penis, you're a man. No, just women are men. Either one. You can't. And it's like, when I talk about loving yourself, and it kind of hurts my feelings when I hear that people say that they don't love themselves. Or when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, I say, I thank God for giving me another day. I count my blessings. And then, I look in the mirror and I say, I love you. You have to. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to nobody. Like I'm talking to a wall. And I don't know, it gets a little frustrating at times. Yeah. You know what, Rob, you're so right. Because I feel like with me, I kind of stopped. I stopped not pouring into people because I'm always love people. I'm always want people to do their best, but I have zero expectations. They say have a low bar of expectations. My expectations are in hell. That's how low they are of people, because they will never, never be there for you. That's right. They can drain your energy. They can drain your energy. And it's crazy because, I kind of learned that, you always keep your standards high, but then you keep your expectations low. And then when things happen, it's like, oh, but when you start having high expectations, you're going to get every single time, like you said, you're going to get it down. And there are, like you call energy vampires, and they would just suck you dry. I had to actually not cut people out of my life, but I had to start putting myself first. And when I started putting myself first, things started changing for me. It's right. You're so right about that. It's like you have to, if you if somebody show you who they are, believe them. But I don't think that happens a lot of time. And I was stupid. I was stupid in the past where it's like you showed me who you really was, but I ignored it. But you know what? You learn from it and it makes you a better person. Yeah, nobody's perfect. And but there's people out here that try to make it seem like they are. They lie. That's right. No expectation, no disappointment. And Renee, you are so right. You are 1,000% right about that. That's a great motto to live by. I'm sorry, Marina. I'm gonna have to steal that from you. I'm gonna have to steal that from you. No expectation, no disappointment. Yeah, everybody do. Like everybody goes through stuff where they like poured into a person and then they're pouring, right? And then there's a hole at the bottom of the cup. And you just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, and all is just running right through them. They never catch it. I always say when I drop things, nobody picks it up. Oh, thank you, Imran. I appreciate that. It's just that for the longest time, you know, but you know what? I kind of feel like I live like that. Like my birthday is coming up. Shout out to the Libras. My birthday is coming up. And every birthday that comes up, I always look like do a reflection. I always reflect what happened like the year before because you should always be better than you were the year before. So I always try to sit there and I try to count or look at like what things I've improved on, right? And if I had to take anything from the last year is to really just focus on me, count on me, and get myself right. Because I don't know, there's just and the thing about it is we're all different. We're all different. There's no right or wrong way to be a human, if I could put it that way. And I feel like a lot of times what we do is we just sit here and look at we look at other people, right? And when I say other people, I basically mean social media. And if you look at social media, it's crazy. I was looking at this video and the gentleman was showing these guys, these I call them old heads. And they have these cars and they were just showing their cars and it's just like that's I mean that's why what's the point? What's the end game? Like, you know, when they were younger, they didn't have the cars, but now that they're older and can afford the cars, now they're trying to relive something that is gone. They need to just kind of look to the future or come up with something new. I mean, it's just crazy. I think 2020 really messed us up. All the people that are gone, all the things that no longer exist is crazy. Just think if you was a 2020 baby and you was walking around or you live during that time and just seeing everybody on with the mask on. I mean, like you literally just seeing people walk around with masks. Like that was the norm. And it was crazy because like back in the day, if somebody was walking around with a mask, you would be like, and then it got to the point where if you seen somebody that didn't have a mask, you was like, And even though we're still kind of like on the fence, like things will happen. And, sometimes you wear a mask. I mean, when I travel, I wear a mask. I don't trust nobody. That's how like the bird flu got spread because people wasn't taking that stuff seriously. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Actually, I kind of low key feel like America is a third world country. Like the things that are happening here, it's just crazy. And I live in the Bay Area, and when you look at the the people on the street, homeless people, and they make those little makeshift um, houses out of like cardboard and stuff. It's crazy. It looked like a third world country. Oh yeah, they're heading that way. Well, what Rob they was saying how what is that? They're cutting off uh Section 8, and they're cutting off people who get EBT and all this stuff. It's like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I mean, to me, I feel like it's lack of education. It's like you have a kid, you spoil your child, and then you kick the child out the house with no kind of resources, no kind of skills. And what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go out there, they're going to rob, they're going to steal, they're going to kill. Can you say kill? I'm not sure. You know what? And it's crazy because every single year we almost have a government shutdown. I'm not even going to front. I remember back in 2015, I was unemployed, right? And there was a government shutdown, and it affected my unemployment benefits because I was trying to get it. I think I was trying to get them extended, but because of the shutdown, I couldn't. Or maybe I was trying to get. Maybe I was trying to get. And I don't think I was trying to extend it because I never go that long. But I think I was trying to get unemployment. But the government was shut down, and everything has shut down. And I used to sit there and watch those little Senate meetings and stuff, trying to see them vote. See, you really don't get it until it affects you. It is a lack of education. The thing about it is, that's part of my field was education, right? But they don't teach you how to survive. I was looking at this post, and it was this woman, and she said, I think she said she had 12 kids. It was something crazy like that. She said, I got 12 kids. Who gon' feed my kids? Who gon' put a roof over their head? I was thinking to myself, whoever made the kids with you, whoever put the babies in you, though, that's who should be putting food in their mouth and in their head, a roof over their head. I don't get it. Like, but a lot of people, they need the system, but hey, the system ain't gonna always be there. That's one of the points. What is it? Low. I mean, they expected high expectations of the government to keep supporting their kids. It's facts, right? I mean, I think we all know how to make kids, right? So, yeah. I mean, and the thing about it is, you putting trust in man. The government, it ain't made up of nothing but people, right? So if you put everything into that, and then what happens? It shuts down. Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Right. And then that's what happens a lot of times. And that's how people end up. Look, I know a young guy. I know a young guy. And he came from a really good household. But he was telling me one time, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like out here. I had to go out here and do these licks. And I'm like, licks? You was raised in a suburban area with two parents and two grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters. But he's looking at social media, and he's looking at that, and he's trying to be something that he's not. Look at T.I.'s son. He's a perfect example. Bruh, you got both parents that takes care of all your needs, but you feel a need to be out here uh, arguing people at the Waffle House? What are you doing? What? That's crazy talk. He's trying to be something and he's not. But that's a lot of people out here. They look at social media and they say, "This is what I want." Look, how is it that you got 500,000 people liking certain people on the internet, but then you have people that's really, then you got people like me, you can't even get 1,000 subscribers. Like, it's like positivity just is not, they just not pushing that. You know what they do? They idolize the streets, and the streets is not giving them love back. Exactly. But what happened to the older cats? Like not really what happened to the people, the elders? Like, didn't elders raise the youth? What happened to them? Are they all gone? I don't know. You know, it's really sad because I feel like there's really no leaders. I mean, growing up, we didn't have no really good leaders for real either. But hi, Victoria. They tired. But I feel like it's, like in Africa, right? We have villages, and in the villages, like each one teach one, right? Hey, thank you, Victoria. I know my birthday is Sunday. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna reach out to you on Instagram too, Victoria. I'll reach out to you. Rob said, you still got wise elders out here, but it's just like in the word, people don't want to listen to the truth. Okay, I'll email you. I'll email you, Victoria. But the thing about it too is, like, you have to think the elders made the young people, right, that they have today. So what happened? Where's the disconnect? I don't know where the disconnect is. Many people have been tricked by the enemy, and they like, yeah, and they do like it because it's like it's not real. It's fake. Like, people go on social media and let me tell you something. I don't go on TikTok because TikTok is, I think TikTok is the devil for real, because you go on there 2 hours later, you're like, whoa, what happened to my life? It's a way to it's just a way to get away from reality. The new aunties are tired too. Well, you know what? It's crazy that you say that, Victoria, because I feel like, these like older women, they be like, I need my hot girl summer. And it's like, bruh, you had many hot girl summers. It's like we don't have anybody. Like, you don't have those aunties no more. And you don't have the grandmothers no more. They're not, no more grandmas, no more grandmas. All you got is Gigi's. And it's crazy because my great cousins, not great cousins, or what's it? Great cousins, great cousins. They call my grandmother grandmother. No, you got two other grandmothers. You call them grandmothers, but they don't want to be called grandmothers. Everybody, yeah, you're right, Rob. Everybody's kind of like disconnected from the system. Everybody's just like, they don't want it. But you know what too? We don't have communities like we used to have. Back in the day, we used to have communities. No, nobody want to be parents, but they want to. They no one wants to be parents. No one wants to be parents. Social media has messed us up really, really bad. And you know what? It's right. They don't have patience. No one has patience no more. And it's like I used to work for an agency, after school agency. Them after school agencies are packed. Those before and after school um like places are packed. I was very fortunate. I didn't have that. Growing up, um I had some, my grandmother took care of me. That was my before and after school. But nowadays they don't have that. You know what? And we need those village. We need to create villages back again, and we just don't have it. We don't have it. Oh my God, you're so right, Victoria. It needs to be a test, right? I mean, I feel like it should be like, okay, this is crazy. This is really crazy, but just, entertain me for a minute. I feel like at birth, everybody should get like something shot in them where they can't have a baby, like they can't produce, like males and females. Like it's something inside of you. And yes, it would be great if you can then get that. Once you're ready, like you have to take the test, you have to know how much it costs to have a child, how to take care of a child. You took these classes, then they can, I don't know, push something in you or take it out, and then you'll be fine. And then you can have a baby after that. If you were to do something like that, I feel like this will be a better world. Nobody wants to be with their kids. Let me tell you. So I was doing like social work, right? And I remember parents would call me and they would complain about the schools, talking about they not teaching my kids, they not doing homework. Didn't like wasn't it called homework? I don't think it was called schoolwork. Schoolwork is schoolwork, but homework is something you do at home. But parents don't even want to do homework with their kids anymore. You're right. You have to be careful who you have a kids with, but I feel like, I ain't gonna lie. Like women, I know in Victoria, you can let me know. Let's tell Rob this is true. Women, they want to feel safe. They want to feel secure. And the Pookies and Ray Rays, even though they not shit, they make you feel that way. They make you feel safe. They make you feel secure. They might only can give you D, right? They might not be able to provide much of anything else, but they provide that one thing. Children are a lottery. Homework ain't nobody got time for that. You're crazy. What'd you say? Like a new device? Yes, it's like a new device. 25 years. Dissolve. So that means you're saying that, okay, so I'm saying, so this is the thing, so we got to figure this out together. Okay, so basically when you're born, you get injected with this device, right? You can't have babies. Can't have babies. And then after, when you get a certain age, see, I don't think it should dissolve. I think it should just stay in there, because I know people in their 50s that should not have kids. I feel like if you, no, you just don't have them. No, you just don't have kids at all. Like, not everybody deserves to have kids. No, everybody don't deserve to have kids. Yeah, well, we have to think of something too. Because the thing about it is, I ain't gonna lie. Like, when you take birth control, because I've been on birth control before, the kind that they shoot in you, it's the same thing, right? But it's so unhealthy, because like I'm vegan, right? And so it's not healthy for you, because it's just pumping all those chemicals and stuff inside you. But it works. So what do you want to do? You want to be fat with no kids, or skinny with a bunch of kids? I rather be fat with no kids, because kids cost money, and I think people forget about that. What, birth control for 10 years? That's crazy. That would be a dope life. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, because I don't know. That could be kind of like, isn't there like a movie like that? I think there was like a Twilight Zone movie similar to that. New York City. Huh. Kids are not cheap. And you know what? It gets like more and more expensive every year. Just think about it, right? So look at it. You got to buy you have to have a place for them to stay, right? Housing. Then you got to provide food for them, right? And you got to provide clothes for them, right? And then entertainment, that's kind of, but you want to have something for them, and then you got to pay, like, that's extra water, extra PG&E, like it's a lot, and I feel like it's hard for one person to do it. I know there are so many different ways, but you know what, there's so many different ways. Like, to me, I feel like okay, I have children, I write children's books, so yeah, I need people to have children because that supports me to find my children's book. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just see people not loving, like, get poured into their children. Oh, and Renee, you are so right. Don't forget the insurance. So you got medical insurance, and then you got to make sure that, oh, we even talked about transportation. Oh Lord. You know what? You are so right, Victoria. Back in the day, we would just, you give us a ball, we'd be in the street all night with a ball in the ball. And you know what? It's so funny because when I was little, I would never forget. I would go to my friend's house, right? And it was poor because they used to always think we was rich, and we wasn't rich. But I had my own room and stuff, and she had to share with her. Anyway, long story short, I remember where one time the dad, her dad, made us take all the shoestrings out of all the shoes and wash them and clean them and dry them. Look, it took us all day. But that kept us busy. People don't do that now. They just give their kid a phone here, and then they get caught up with all the negative stuff, and then they see the women with the big old BBLs and all these cars, and then they think like that's life. No, it's not real life. It's nothing that people are doing on Instagram right now that is helping me with my real life. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. I was the only child, so I was spoiled. And I was the first grandchild, and I was the first niece, so I got it pretty good. I got it pretty good. I got poured into that. So that's why I say a village is really, really important. So even like growing up when I was in education, I always, I always, poured into it. And even my friends' kids, I'm like the big auntie for everybody. Oh, are you the first? But then it's cool being the first, but then the older you get, the more like uh I guess burden, or not really burdens, but it's more pressure for you to be right, because they look at you, you're the ones coming up after you. So that kind of sucks. Number one? Okay, we got a lot of number ones in the chat. Number one, number one. Yeah, but yeah, social media is just, it's trash. It is trash. And nobody sees, it's just a distraction. They do it because we're connected to the elders of our families. Well, four, five, six. Well, the thing about the elders is a lot of the elders aren't here anymore. It's sad. I had this one uncle on my dad's side. He was a crackhead, right? Oh my God. He was a crackhead, but he used to have them women was on him. And I think back now, like, wow, it must have been bad back then for you to be in love with a crackhead. But what happens a lot of times is the way you were, people don't forget who you were. So, but you know what I always, but someone told me too that it's a difference between men and women. So a man could do the most disgusting, vile things and they'll get forgiven. But a woman, we don't have that same kind of energy. Right. It's true. We do. We need, I don't know, Rob, are we supposed to be elders? are are we supposed to be elders? Like, that's crazy. Because you think of elders, they like old and stuff, and we're too lit. You know what? Let me tell you something about my uncle. I think he probably, I don't know, this kind of gross, but he probably, he probably had it going on back in the day and they just never forgot it. You said love. I think it's more than love. Yes, stereotypes separate us too because, I mean, you know what they say. Then what they say about us. It's just, ugh. And a lot of it is like we all get put into that situation. We are good. Oh my God. Help us, Lord. If we're the elders, we're the next set of elders coming up. I don't even know what to do. Cause let me tell you something. The elders back in the day, they was some stone cold freaks. They had heck of families all over the place, and I don't know. I feel like we can do better. I feel like we can do better as far as that. Right. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Because we need help. We need help out here. we t- we tired and we haven't even started. Well, okay, so if we're gonna be the elders, maybe I should start doing classes on how to be an elder. It is nap time. Rob, Victoria, Rob. I appreciate you guys. We say baby got 6 kids in the bricks and no baby daddy, like you said earlier, looking for government to support her. Man, you know what? I would go out and film like what I see because it's crazy out here in the world. A Black Planet, just like a Black Planet chat. What they be talking about on Black Planet? What they talking about on Black Planet? Maybe I should change my channel. Yeah, you guys are cool. Black Planet. You mean the dating site Black Planet? Oh my god. Did they have chats on that? I thought that you talking about the dating site, right? Because I remember that, and you have to go on there and put all your information, and you go on there, and then they have like oh, it was a social media site. Well, what happened to it? You know what? There's really, 'cause let me tell you something. I do not like what is that called? What is that place? Something house. What is the chat the with the chat rooms? Clubhouse. I don't like Clubhouse. I don't. I feel like it's just not. Mm, I don't know. It's just weird. People in Clubhouse are different. Like I went on there one time and I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's so many different rooms you can go to, but There's a lot of hate. I'm sorry, there is so much hate. You have to be careful where you go to. Even here, you got to be careful even on YouTube where you go, because when you on YouTube, you can fall and go down a rabbit hole and you be with some straight up hate. They'll be hating what you look like. They'll be like, you. Who wants to be a part of that? Who wants to go into a place where they hate you all over? You know what? I guess, you know what? But I know people say like that YouTube is social media, but I don't know. I mean, I know that yes, Facebook is social media, Instagram is social media, TikTok is social media, but I feel like YouTube is different. Am I wrong? Am I tripping? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it is the same. But I don't know. I think for me, it's just all fake. It just seemed fake. Don't say that. Oh, you know what? You're right. I think it did turn. Oh yeah, because see, YouTube, it was a part where you would just go there, you would just watch stuff, and now you can do live streams, and they have the shorts, which is similar to TikTok and Instagram. And then I don't know, but it's something about Facebook. Ooh, child, I cannot go on Facebook. It's so depressing. YouTube for me is the first was about music. See, that's what see, and that's the thing. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking about, Rob. Like for me, I love like anytime there's an artist, like a song will come on, I'll go to YouTube and I'll put the song in, and then I will like be listening to the song. You know, like you can pull up the video and then you can save it or download it. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more because you. I don't know if you could do that on the other ones. I, and see, I feel like you, Victoria. I feel like you get a lot out of YouTube because there is like tutorials and there are things that you can learn about. And a lot of times when you go on Instagram, you just see people fronting. Oh my goodness, you are so right. Like I remember, like I like to listen to Ask Nathaniel, and he plays a lot of old school music. And I'd be writing it down, and then I'll just go in my go on YouTube. I'll punch it up. Boop, there we go. Hey Jill, how you doing, love? We've been talking about everything. We've been talking about like what do you call it? Castrating people? Castrating people? We're not castrating nobody. I don't want to get shut down, but we just want to put in, we want to, so Jill, Rob and Victoria said hi. So we're trying to think of a way to like put these things into people so they don't have babies kind of thing. We want to just kind of slow it down. We need to slow down the population because the government is not helping people. Now, okay, this is the thing. I don't know if you should maybe like if you can afford it. Because the kids are expensive. Like we just broke it down earlier. Like kids are super expensive. So you figure maybe I don't know how much if you were to give a price, what people with kids, if you were to give a price on how much a child costs extra per month, what would you say? Because sometimes people will be like, oh, kids don't really cost that much because I have to provide a roof over my head and food anyway. So let's see. Rob said, ask yourself and look at the time. Has government really ever been truly for the people? No, no, never. It costs $100,000 a month to have a kid. No, but you know what? You're not too far off from that. I've really heard that um like it's half a million dollars, like a over 18 years or something, you pay a half a million dollars. No, just think if you didn't have children and you can save up. a $500,000 in 18 years. That would be crazy. I don't know. I'm not at home, so I can't. Yeah, otherwise, I'd be like, Alexa, how much does it cost to raise a kid? I miss Alexa. She's my friend in real life. Hmm. But you know what? Even buying a house, when you buy a house, Victoria, you never own it because you constantly have to, um, what do you call it? You got to pay the um, insurance, you got to pay taxes forever, forever. It's never yours. Unless you have a house that's floating that you can move, unless you have a mobile home, you can just drive around. But even with that, you got to stop somewhere and pay for it. If you know where the money is going. Finding property, third world country. You know, I feel like you kind of have to keep. That's where too you have to think about yourself. You know, you gotta think about yourself. Like you give, but you have to see how is it gonna benefit you. And I'm not saying like, oh, this person gotta. No, you can give to people, right? And then as long as you're getting value out of that, then it's a win for you. Even if you get knowledge. It said Rob said a house now have gone up a base price of 250 going up. No, Rob, I'm in California. Where I live, the houses are 900,000 for no backyard, 3 bedroom. You'd be lucky if you get 2,000 square feet. It's crazy, and it's just a box, and it's not even. I'm like 900,000. I rather rent and move if it gets bad. Because what if you buy a $900,000 house and then your neighborhood turns to trash? What you gonna do? It's crazy. It's not even worth buying a house nowadays. The housing market is crazy. Jill said, let them do them. I don't want to make any of these decisions anymore. Sorry, I'm working and listening, hon. Tiny houses is the way to go. And you know what? Now they have like the little houses where you can like hook it on to the back of your car and then go. It's true. He said, Jesus, take the whole car. For real, for real. It is crazy, 900,000. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna post a video of what a 900,000 house look like. And it's because if you think like in Atlanta, them mansions out there was like 500,000 at one time, 300,000. Crazy. In 2015, I was supposed to move to Atlanta, right? But something happened, I didn't go. Condos back then was $30,000. 30,000. I just went there earlier this year. Those same condos are going for $500,000. 500,000. Same condo. Same condo. The cost is crazy. And I'm in California, Jill. So out here it's just ridiculous. I was looking at this old video I was doing. Oh my God, it was crazy. So at the time I was unemployed. And I was saying how unemployment only give you a max of what is it, 1,800? Yeah, 1,800 a month. That's the max. No matter if you was making, I mean, of course you had to make a certain amount of money, but just think if I was making 250,000 now, I go from 250,000 down to $1,800 a month. And I was just saying, like, my rent is more than that, right? So it's no way I could survive on unemployment. Not in California, but it's never gone up. And the guy even said on the phone, he said it hasn't gone up in 30 years. But everything else is going up. So how make that make sense? Victoria says build a home from a train trailer. They have that out here. They have it. Actually, they're in the Bay Area. There are actually neighborhoods and they just stack them. And they have businesses, they have homes. They kind of lit too. Like they'll glass out the side. And back when dope became legal out here in California, they used to have these trailers that you can rent to do your dope because it's solid. No one can get into it. That's crazy. They need to do more of that because what are they gonna do about the homeless? Well, I guess like Rob was saying that depending on where you are, the regions, you know, it's crazy. I guess they're trying to push everybody out. You got to stay prayed up, Jill, because otherwise, what are you gonna do? You know what? It's like I would like to see what a $500,000 house look like somewhere else. Because out here, it's just $500,000 house. You look, it's trash. It's not even 800 square feet. It's in the ghetto. It's crazy. And it's like, okay, then someone was telling me it's not the house, Kelly. It's the land. That little piece of land that's worth that? I don't think so. And it's not even your land because you got to pay taxes on it. No, Jill, these nowadays these tiny houses they lit. It's I think you thinking about one of those like little dog houses. No, these are like really nice houses. And if you think about it, what you really in a house for? You just sleep and eat, and then you be outside. The government, you know what? I feel like the government they did do this thing where they made those shacks like the builder shacks, and they put them all over the place, and so that they were keeping the homeless in there. But the thing about it is, people went in there and they never left. They're still in there, and it's like leave. You know what? No cap. If somebody gave me a turn to live in one of them houses and save some money, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Bye, Victoria. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I think I'm. It's. I don't know. Aren't you from the South, Jill? Because I remember you was at. You was going to the store. You was like, "This is my last pack of cigarettes." But I remember it was snowing, and I was like, "Whoa." See, I don't. We don't get snow out here. That'd be kind of lit. See, the tiny houses is probably different out where you are compared to out here. They do everything extravagant out here. Oh my God, you ain't lying. My very first house I ever bought, they said, okay, this is a flood zone. So here, sign the papers and give us your money. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they were like, well, if there was like a huge flood zone, so at the time I lived in Sacramento, it's these huge doors. They would close the doors and then all the water would go and drown out all the houses. And they said that we would be under 20 feet of water. I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. But it was a nice neighborhood. And knock on wood, we never had to deal with that. Oh, okay. You're not in the South. Okay, okay. But you are somewhere where it snows, right? I did see snow. Unless I was tripping. You know what? I was thinking about moving to Alabama because it's like a slower life. I mean, you would think it's a slower a life because I have my sister. She used to live. My play sister. She used to live in Alabama. Only thing that, and I know this sounds crazy, but she didn't have no sidewalks. I was like, I can't have no like sidewalks. I'll be scared. You walk in and there's no sidewalks. So you walking with cars. Like, how does that make sense? Where are you gonna go, Rob? Where are you gonna go? I mean, at the end of the day, where will you go? Where would you be? I know Justin, he's out in Georgia, which is not too far from Alabama, and it's getting expensive out there. It's getting super expensive. Like I feel like just nowhere you can go. You got to go to another country. You definitely have to go to another country. I'm down for that. Y'all down for that? Okay, so we're gonna move to another country. We're gonna build a bunch of tiny homes, and then we're gonna like stick everybody. Okay, if you come in our community, babies they have to get those things in them because we're not gonna have a bunch of babies running around. I mean, you can have a baby, but you got to take the test. You got to get your license to have a baby. Because that's what Victoria was saying, that there should be like a baby license. So if you have a baby, you got to pass the test, just like a driver's license kind of thing. And I feel like a child is way more responsible than driving a car. I'll never forget when I stole my oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I stole my grandparents' car. They went to a church conference, and I in the car ended up breaking down on the side of the road, and I prayed to God, and it came. And I got home. I learned my lesson. I said, I never steal again. That was my lesson, and that was easy. It's like I kind of taught myself, kind of thing. Well, the thing about it is, I'm not saying go to another country now. Oh no, 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 no. We have to wait. We have to wait till after, what's going on, and then see what our options are, kind of thing. Rob said Alabama and these other places people think are slow, but it's not by choice because we have the same things you guys have, right? It just costs more according to the cost of living. Well, and you have land. That's what we don't have here. Like certain areas where you are, they just keep building on top of buildings. Like in San Francisco, like that's it. It can't expand. So literally you would have say this much, like you have a house here, and then right in the middle, they will build a house straight up. Like 6 floor house just to fit in this little lot. It's like me, I love houses. I love driving. I mean, we still have areas like that, but I mean, you guys have land, like land. I remember my aunt, she lived in Texas, and I was looking at her house, whatever, and because on Google's Maps, and she has a pond, and she had a heck of land, and then it's like another house, like kind of far away, and I'm like, that would never be in the city here, never. You can't be a part of that. You really have to just, you know what, if you're safe right now, just stay where you are. Just stay where you are. I know they are getting closer and closer together. I mean, it's crazy out here though. I mean, it's crazy. Like where I stay, it used to be this huge plot of land, which actually kind of like, okay, I like that because we're like alone, but now they're building houses. I mean, they're taking up they're literally going into mountains to build houses. And it's just like, and it was crazy because where I stay, like we were the first place when you get off the freeway right there, but now it's not. We're not going to be the first. They're building stuff in front of it. It do. I don't know when you have a new house, does it make all the people around taxes go up? I don't know if that makes it like all the taxes go up. No, you're right. Let me read that because I like that. You say God got it under control. No worries because it's supposed to happen. It's gonna happen, and you're 1,000% right. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. Yeah, folks living in all these trees. We call some of them hillbillies. You know what? I always say I'm a granola because I love just nature, and they're taking away nature. Mm. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get into these streets and enjoy this day. It's beautiful outside. I mean, it's beautiful outside. I know. And where I'm at, I'm really lucky because it's just surrounded by like trees and stuff. So, when there's a bunch of trees, you can breathe better. So, I'm going to go out and get this. And it really does feel good outside. It do. And not only that, I think I'm going to go get some water. Not get some water, but go to the water. Because I think you can get a lot from the water. You can get a lot from the water, the air, the trees, like all that. Thank you, Jill. I will enjoy the day. And you guys enjoy your day as well. Thank you, Jill, for stopping by. Rob, of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Victoria, and Renee, and Justin. I really appreciate everybody that actually made a comment. I love you guys. And if no one's told you today they love you, I love you. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye, Renee.